Hello and welcome to another edition or episode of Tuesdays with the Ambassador of Hope with your host, yours truly. What a day to be alive. I don't know about you, but listen, so long as there's a heartbeat in your chest and there's breath in your nostrils, it's a good day. You agree with me? It is a good day. Every day above the ground is a good day. And today, like we have advertised, shoulders. You are wondering, shoulders? Yes. Is it lamb shoulder or something? I mean, shoulders. Stick around. And you're going to find out. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. This is a season that you cannot afford to miss the wisdom that is coming your way. And you know, like we always do, I want you to pick up your device, whatever it is, Android, iPhone, no phone, the whole computer, whatever it is, and let's share whilst I welcome some of our friends and family today. We are going to have a blast. We are going to have a blast. I have some amazing people with me here today. Like I advertised, it's an intergenerational thing. You want to learn. You want to learn. Listen, my dad taught me something. And please keep sharing. You can do two things at the same time. My dad taught me something as I was growing up. He says that anytime you see a tortoise sitting on a fence post, know that it did not get there by itself. Did you hear that? Anytime you see a turtle sitting on the fence post, it did not get there by itself. Somebody helped him. Everybody got somewhere because somebody helped them to get somewhere. And today we want to talk about that. That's why we call it shoulders. And you get to understand. So let's welcome some friends and family today. And I have some amazing people with me in the studio today. They're going to sit with me right away. So, hey, Nanaya Rampi, God bless you. The Honorable Nana Nimo is watching with us today. The Honorable Nana Nimo is watching with us today. Antonia, good evening to you, my daughter. God bless you. Christy, Efua Lincoln. Efua Lincoln says, please share. We are live on Facebook, and then we are live on YouTube. Facebook as the Ambassador of Hope. YouTube as Frank Ofosu-Appiah Official. Listen, subscribe to our pages, like our pages, click on the notification button, something, so that you don't miss any good thing. Nunes Musa, good evening to you. And right here we also have here, Vaglas is watching with us. Gloria Rajwa, daughter, good evening to you. God richly bless you. God richly bless you. Nana Morrison, good evening to you. Come on, somebody share. Keep sharing whilst we get ourselves ready. Maripa Natasha, good evening. Minister Felicia McAddy, God richly bless you. Thank you for coming by the other day. Malik Sese, good evening to you. Blessings upon you. Eva, I hope London is treating you well. Blessings. All the way from the heart of the Bronx, we have Pastor Festus Chumesi Rehoboth. Good evening, Nanajua, Nanade Ajua. There's only one Nanajua. Kedin is in the house. Listen, can you share already? It's going to be awesome. It's going to be really, really, really awesome tonight. You don't want to miss it. Listen, if you don't share, we will share you. So please, let's do that. Let's do that. Let me check our crowd on YouTube. I know we get so many of you on YouTube. Oh, wow. So many of you here. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Well, the birthday boy is there. Brandon Frank Ofosu-Appiah. Brandon, happy birthday to you. My mini-me. I have a couple of mini-me's. So, well. Nicholas, good evening to you. Kwame Boateng is ready to learn wisdom. Silas is in our shoulders. Hello, Comfort. God bless you. Larinette, God richly bless you. Are you sharing, guys? Are you sharing, guys? Are you sharing, guys? Shoulders. What informs this? It all has to do with where we are in life. Whether it's in leadership or followership, business, ministry, whatever it is, there's a principle that is very necessary. No, like I told you, nobody gets to a place by themselves. You know, sometimes I like very interesting things. I like Formula One racing. You know, all the noise, burning of gas, going around, making you dizzy. At the end of the race, one person stands on the podium, receives the checkered flag, they pour champagne on the person. He is the winner. They say he's the best Formula One. But even though the person drove the car alone, the person did not race alone. Never forget that. They drove the car alone, but they didn't race alone. They have earpieces. People are talking to them. Slow down, go around this corner. They get to the pit stops. Their tires are changed in a few seconds. A whole thing. Last week I was in the UK, and the head of one of the Formula 1 teams had been fired. And it was a big deal on the news. And I said, wow, I didn't know this was such a big thing. So please understand that it's very, very important that we should take some of these things very, very, very serious in our lives. The great Isaac Newton says something. He said that if I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. So that is what I want to talk about. Whose shoulders did you stand on? And who are you offering your shoulders to stand on? And today in the studio, I have some amazing people. Listen, the church that I serve, All Nations Church, we are turning 25. We are celebrating from tonight. 5 days of just madness. We want to say thank you. One of the things we are not very good at is celebration. If you follow God through the Hebrew text in Genesis, every day of creation, God sat back, looked at his creation and said, man, I'm bad, I'm good. So we're going to celebrate. It's going to be good. Make sure Wednesday night, tomorrow night is going to be awesome. It's homecoming, so please come home. And then Thursday, Friday, daytime, about two and a half sessions of wisdom, leadership, partner. It's going to be different. It's going to be awesome. But we have some amazing men in the house. All the way from the Republic of Sunyani. They tell us that it's the cleanest city in Ghana. And I kind of think I agree. They're actually brainstorming, putting things together, resources to buy me a land there and build me a vacation home. Please welcome into the studio tonight the one and only Reverend Gospel Odame Kento. Pastor Gospel, welcome. Pastor Gospel, welcome.
Thank you very much, Daddy.
Welcome, yes. And then we also have, his father used to be my favorite goalkeeper. When soccer was football, amazing. And all the way from All Nations, Dusseldorf, Germany, the Reverend Jesse Morrison Ayoma. Come on, let's make him feel welcome tonight. Welcome tonight. And then I saved the best for last. Oh, well, I saved the last for last because he's been very annoying since Sunday. I've been telling him, I've been taking him off since Sunday. They only want one thing and they wouldn't let us rest, But all the way from New Jersey, All Nations Church, New Jersey House of Restoration, the one and only Joseph Asma.
Thank you, Daddy. Thank you so much.
If you make a lot of knives about him, I'll give you to him and he'll take you. But welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. So good to have you. I'm so you guys can tell I'm so excited. When I have them around me, I am so excited. But remember, I told you that Newton said something that if I've been able to see further, is because I stood on the shoulders of giants. And this statement carries a lot of burden for the season that we are in. You may be able to go to places, but somebody needs to carry you there. Somebody's experience, somebody's connections, somebody's wisdom, somebody's guidance has to help you. And the greatest danger to any movement is the danger of generational failure. Don't forget that. Because sometimes you see some things on social media, some decisions that people make and things, and you sit back and you wonder, I wake up every morning with this thing on the inside of me, guys, and that is, people are watching me. Yeah. And somebody's food tomorrow is based on my obedience. Somebody's breakthrough tomorrow is based on me walking right. So I can't get up and just live my life anyhow. I don't know about somebody else, but I can't do that. I was on the phone one time with somebody, and we were talking, and somebody was driving erratically. And the person cut, and I said, oh, what is he doing? And the person said, what? And I said, he's driving. And I said, maybe if he dies, nobody's going to cry. And this person, he said, some of the things you say are so deep and so funny. I said, yes, maybe if he dies, nobody's going to cry but there are some of us, we are painfully aware that if we fall down now, we have troubled a whole lot of people. Oh, yeah. So it's very, very important that we have an understanding of generational leadership. So gentlemen, welcome. We are just going to have a chat. It's nothing, questions and everything. So tell me, Pastor Gospel, where are you right now? Leadership, life, talk to somebody. Talk to us.
Thank you, Daddy. It's a joy being here and a privilege joining you at this studio, reaching out to the world. I want to say that this program has been a blessing to the world and to many people. I hear people talk about it, and thank you for going through all the trouble to let it happen every now and then. I know that you have a lot on your plate, but you are able to make it happen. And we struggle to keep up, but you keep pressing on it. We have no choice than to follow. Well, I have come some distance, but the more that I move forward, the more I realize that I had taken things for granted. When I was young, I didn't see the need for a father. I didn't see the need to look up to people the way I should have. People inspired me. But the more I grow, I realize that what is ahead of me is much more difficult. And if I'm going to make it, I need somebody to stand on his shoulders to be able to get to where I'm going. I realize more. It's like Solomon. The more you study, the more you realize that you don't know anything. So as I grow, I feel I have that need. It's deep within me that I need somebody to stand on his shoulders to lead me. I've had the privilege of working with people, being inspired by people, standing on the shoulders of people, but maybe that recognition was not there, and that need was not that driving. But now, I feel it most. So I feel like I'm at a place where I need leadership, and that is the joy that I have, that I can find you. I can find Dr. Ofosu-Appiah, who for many years inspired us, right at the days of Kufuridia, where we were young and they were doing ministry, and we were looking up to them as people that were doing well. But after many years, you've proven that you've been stable, you've stayed your course. Not many have been able to do that. So the track record is a proof that, hey, this is where you need to be. And thank you for the privilege of allowing me to come and connect myself with you. I'm like a parasite, and I'm sucking some blood, and I believe that is going to take me forward. So thank you.
Thank you. Pastor Asma, you know, Pastor Gospel talked about the need for fathers.
Right.
And I realized that this thing called fatherhood has come under a lot of onslaught. You know, people teach a whole lot of, nobody needs a father, and father's this, and father does, and the father has done me that. What is your take on this whole fatherhood business?
It's an interesting subject. I mean, anytime I hear it, I can't help but laugh because I don't know what they stand on, what philosophy, what principles they stand on, but biblically it's proven that fathers are there. In the New Testament, we heard it. The Apostle Paul said it several times. But personally, the reason I laugh is this fatherhood thing has worked for me. I mean, I don't know where I would have been in ministry, in pastoring the church, if it hadn't been for a father, for, you in my life, allowing me to stand on your shoulder and do exactly what you're doing here in New Jersey. And so it is needed. You rightly said it earlier on. No one succeeds alone or by themselves. You need a shoulder. You need somebody who is gone ahead. And so I don't know, for those who say it, for those who bash against fatherhood in the kingdom, you might call it other names, but no matter how you go around it, it is a reality, it works. And for me, that's worked for me. And if you doubt it, look at me. I'm serving under a father, and I am not ashamed to call him a father because that's what he's been. A guide, pointing me to where I should go, leading me in every aspect, not only from the pulpit, but sitting down, having time to talk. Moments like this, it takes a father to allow a son to sit around a table with him, to have an interaction. So yeah, it works, Daddy.
But I also realize that some people are angry because maybe a father disciplined them, a father showed them a way or something, or spoke up to them.
Right.
What is your take on that? Because I realize that there are people who don't like this because they only want to use a name father, but they don't want to be fathered. Yeah. I hope I'm making. Yeah. So what's your take on Pastor Jesse or Pastor Gospel?
Yes, thank you, first and foremost, Papa, for this opportunity. You know, this thing called fatherhood is still very valid and very important. You know, having a father in your life is part of the process to help you to get to where God has destined for your life. Fathers, they lay the foundation through their obedience and their sufferings and the mistakes and all that they have been through. They help to make life very easy for us. So they have been where you're trying to get to in life. So they know what you don't know. So I see that as part of submitting yourself to learn from them and look up to them And for me, discipline and correcting and all that is part of life, because you need different kinds of people in your life. You need people that, like your peers, people you can share life with, socialize with, and it's part of life. And you need mentors. You need people that can straighten you, can help you, correct you in life, so that you can get to where you're supposed to get to in life. Maybe what took them 20, 15 years shouldn't take you 20, 15 years. Right. Can take you maybe a year or something to get there out of their experience of their journey with God. So it's so valid and so important.
Thank you.
May I add?
Yeah, go ahead. By all means, yes. You have the microphone, so
No,
go ahead.
I was just going to ask from the question, adding to what Pastor Jesse said. It's just like going to a restaurant and having a bad experience at one restaurant, or even going to a doctor. You know, we've had and we've heard doctors who've made mistakes, you know, several times, but we still go to the doctor.
Yeah.
And so, you know, having one father fail or one father, you know, do something wrong doesn't make all fathers bad. And so that's just what I wanted to add, that you still go to the doctor, you still go to the restaurant, you still eat. Yeah.
Pastor Gus, we wanted to say something.
Yeah, I wanted to say that the concept of fatherhood should be understood by the person who is looking for a father and the father who is going to have a son.
Right.
Because if you're looking for a father, what are you looking for a father for? To pamper you, to make you feel good, or just expose you to things without correction? I believe that you want to do better. You want discipline. You want to reach far. So if you have that expectation, no amount of discipline puts you off.
Yeah.
It helps you to be able to rise up. You are excited that you are being reprimanded or corrected on issues. And the father who is also having a son should also know that it's not just having calling the person son, that's all. You're supposed to be firm and put your foot down to be able to correct that individual, because who they become is going to be attributed to you. So as much as you want to do good things for the child, you have to also make sure that the child is put on the right track and get to where the child is going. Right. No train travels by itself on the street. Trains are put on a rail. They need a rail guide to get to where they're going. So you have to be on a guide so that you can get to where you're going.
Oh, this is beautiful. You know, as both of you were speaking about this fatherhood, and I thought about Paul.
Right.
Paul himself said, I'm a father. Yeah. And Paul had a son, Timothy. You remember that?
Yeah.
His father was Greek, and his mom was Jewish. The Grecians, I think they didn't practice circumcision. And if you are not circumcised, you could never go to the temple. Paul was the greatest exponent of the revelation of Christian liberty. He even wrote and said that circumcision is nothing. True circumcision is of the heart. And this protege Timothy was so good, and yet he couldn't go to some places because he wasn't circumcised. This same man who says circumcision is nothing takes Timothy and he cuts him. He not castrate, but he circumcises him so that Timothy can go to another level. I think it's one of the revelations that a lot of young ones don't get. That when fathers cut you, it's not to kill you. They are not being sadist. They are not being wicked. But they want to let you go to some places that ordinarily you couldn't go to. So I think it's beautiful. By the way, listen, send in your questions. I understand there are some questions that are coming. The questions are not for me. We also have one of our great sons in the house. Later, you're going to hear from him. But send in the questions, and then we're going to answer the questions. But is there any other thing that you want to bring up whilst we are waiting for our questions? Other than that, you can put the questions out there. We'll read them, and we'll try to answer them.
I wanted to add something that, Pastor Gospel was preaching for us last Sunday, and he said something about this generation is an easy life generation.
Okay.
We want everything to be easy.
Yes.
And so the reason talking about cutting has become a problem in this generation is that we want the easy way. Everybody wants to go to the top. They want the microphone. They see the light, they see what you have done here, and it's, something that you just appeared. You just came and you were dropped here and all of this was here, right? But they don't get to understand that you had to go through process. You have to go through process, and you have to go through bleeding. You share your stories, your book, your latest book has all of it in it, the different places that you had to go to. But then this generation feel like when they come to you and then they want to submit, immediately you must bring them up. They want to go past all the processes that bring you to the place of growth. And that is why it has become an issue in this time. We want it fixed. Call a father and come, and then they don't accept rebuke. Everything must be, pampering, rub around the head, and, just get it easy for them. And that's the problem of the now.
Yeah. And I also believe that in this life, if you want to get far, you have to understand what life is. I believe Paul in 1 Corinthians 3, where he said each one should build with care. So if you're building your life, it's very important for you to understand some very important elements and important people that you're going to need. And one of them is fathers. So living life should be lived with care. So if you want to get to where you want to get to in life, you need to be very careful how you build life. And having fathers, people who will cut you, who will correct you and help you so that you get better to be able to fulfill your life purpose. It's very, very necessary.
Wow, that's beautiful. Pastor Gospel, if you had one question to ask me, just one.
I was
not
good.
one.
I was just about to do that.
Just one, not one and subsection two. I know Pastor Gospel, but just one question. What would that be?
I would like to take you to the Bible and ask a question about 2 Kings, chapter 13, from 15 to 19. It talks about before the death of Elisha,
Right.
that the king, Joash, went to him and said, my father, the horsemen of Israel and the chariots thereof. And he gave him instruction on what to do. Take a bow and take arrow, put his hands on his hands, and he said, shoot. He opened the window eastward and shot. And he said, strike the floor with the arrow. He did once and stopped. And he said, 3 times and stopped. He said, you should have done more, so you would have defeated Syria by that number of times. What is the relationship between the king and the prophet of God, calling him a father? He was saying, not once, my father, my father. And we saw that the victory of Israel depended on the grace that was upon Elisha. And here is the case. He put his hands on the man of God, the king, and the king was able to shoot. And so the question I would like to ask is, we call fathers and all that, and everybody feel that the father is somebody who has brought up somebody. Children are either adopted or they are born. What of a king calling the man of God father? That is the relationship I want you to draw.
I think it's a very important question you've asked. There are all kinds of power in this world. We have military power, economic power, beauty power, but I believe that no power supersedes spiritual power. Moses had a staff, but he was able to bring down the greatest empire at that time, Egypt, to its knees, destroy its economy and its elite army of crack chariot warriors with a staff backed by spiritual power. So I believe that the people of those days understood that there's a hand that can empower your hand. There's something that goes beyond even your normal training. And maybe it's been lost in our generation. So I feel that that little glimpse that God gave to us behind the curtains was to show us that there's the reality of power past power. That is how I feel.
In other words, fathers have power.
Yes, they do. I think, was it sometime this year in January when we did our 40th, whatever, and in the teaching of I think I brought out some 3 scriptures about the fact that fathers can make somebody. And I gave a genealogy where the father made the younger. And even, is it Jacob or something, he made Manasseh, Ephraim. So you can make, they can change things. Welcome to our one and only high priest. After him, there's no New Testament high priest. The most Reverend Sammy Pearson Opoku Echampo, Pastor Sam, welcome.
Thank you. Thank
He's
you
our
very
favorite
much,
high
Papa.
priest.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Papa.
God bless you, Pastor Sami.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
Thank you.
There's a question here from Paul. I think Paul Asha is asking a question, which is very, very, very important. And I'm going to throw it out to all of you. He says that, may I humbly ask that at what point does the son grow and how does the father know when to send him on his way? That's a very good one. Pastor Sami.
At what point does a son grow? And how does the father know when to send him on his way?
Right.
For me, I believe that personal conviction is very, very important. Because
Personal conviction.
personal conviction.
Okay.
As humans, you cannot really tell at what point somebody has grown. You have to know how the person is able to handle responsibility and all that. But if the individual himself is convicted, has a strong personal conviction that, hey, it's time for me to go, then you have to release him.
Sure.
That is my answer to that. Yeah, because you may release somebody who is not ready at that particular time. So personal conviction is very, very important. I can use this platform to say that many years ago, I was with my father in London, and I had this strong personal conviction that God was sending me to Ghana. And it was something that really helped me as I went through the process, and I can say that today I am what I am because of him and also the personal conviction I had. If somebody doesn't have that, it's very, very difficult. Because the person may go, you may send him away, and when challenges come, he may blame you for whatever he's going through.
Anybody else on that?
Yeah, I have a dissenting view, a different view on this. I don't know why he is asking the question that a son should leave. I believe that once you're a son, you are always a son. The fact that you are not under the same roof doesn't make you somebody else. When you are sent away, you are asked to go and perform a task or grow what has been given to you. So you can go and grow all that, but wherever you are, every one of us must have at the back of our mind that we cannot come to a place where we say we are fully matured. We are maturing. It's a process, and we will always need our father. Your father may be old and weak, and you may be commanding things and moving around. He will need you at that point to be there to support him. And he will be able to pass on wisdom and direction and other things to you. So with fatherhood, I think it's something that must be established forever. But as to where we go to and what we do and all that, it doesn't have to be a problem. Fathers expect to have sons that have done it much more than they were able to accomplish.
I believe that.
Right? Because you reach high and they sit back and say, this is my son. The president of America, if his father was alive, would be proud that I have a son who is the president. He may not be commanding the son, but the son has a special love and respect for the father because of what he's done to let him get to where he is. So I believe that if he's saying leaving, he's talking about covering, being under the same ministry or being in the same church, and they want the person to, it's like learning a trade and you have to just graduate and go somewhere. But even if you learn the trade and you graduate and go, your boss is still your boss. Your master is still your master.
This question is relative. We don't know what actually he meant. Like somebody leaving, having his own ministry or whatever it is without submitting to a father. So, like you said, fatherhood is a lifetime. Yeah. So whether you leave or you don't leave, you still need somebody you must look up to. That's right. Yes.
Maybe it could also mean about like church situations, business situations where somebody has gotten to a point where maybe they have to go do something, build their own church, whatever, and sometimes they are kept for too long, which I'm not a believer in that. Yeah. And again, that is where Pastor Sam's thing comes in, that it's the conviction and the relationship that must happen. I know that sometimes some fathers can be a little bit insecure, overbearing, but Pastor Asma said it at the beginning that one man's failure doesn't speak for everybody's success, and I believe that some people are modeling it one way or the other in different places. For me, it's the way we go about things. the way we go about things. And at the beginning, I said by saying this that I don't say this for everybody, but I say it for me, Frank Ofosu-Appiah, that every day I wake up, I know that somebody is watching me. My actions or inactions is going to affect somebody or other generations.
Right.
So I have to do things right. Not perfect, but right. So that at least it will model something good for somebody. So that is beautiful. There's another question that came up, and it says that in the name of quote-unquote process, some have ended up into nothing but human rights abuse. So what do you say about this? What does the father know when to send him on his way? I think that's the same thing, isn't it? Yeah. I know there are a few quote-unquote sons that are suffering tyranny because I think they are up to it. Everybody can see it except the father. Yeah. And so that's what I'm saying, that there are some fathers that can be overbearing, that can be abusive. It's none of these people seated here. And so if you find yourself in that situation, we'll pray for you. We pray for you. I know you agree with my wisdom that we cannot speak specifically into this matter.
No.
Because every situation, yes, if I spoke to that father too, he may have some things to say. Yeah. That maybe there are some rough edges that, because I've had situations I've gone in that somebody is desperate to leave. And the father feels that they mustn't leave because once these people, quote unquote, stand on their own, catastrophe. So that's the deal. Any other question? Yes, Pastor Jesse, go ahead.
What I read on this, some ended up in human rights abuse. The little I want to add to this, the Bible commands us to submit to leadership, right. Submit to authority, but not to control. So if you're under a leader where there is control, and I don't think that's the spirit of Christ. You need a leader that, thinks of your best interest, that wants to help you. So that is very important to differentiate that. But abuse, a leader that controls you and it's not that spirit of Christ, then you need to take it to prayer and ask God for, direction and a way out.
Great. Thank you. There's another question. I think that question is directed to Pastor Asma because she's his body from Rampy. Rampy, I knew Rampy was going to ask you a question. This is not for me. This is for Pastor. Rampy says, we are in a generation where it's common for people to want to pay their way to a father's platform and call it honor. And the exposure they get, they call reward. In the middle of this, how do you navigate a true relationship with the father in a way that honors God? That is where you honor the father, fulfill your purpose, and not lose your God-given identity. In an unwritten way, it's for Pastor Asma.
I don't know why you're doing this, Rampy. But thank you for coming over last week. And Rampy was at our end, and she was a great blessing.
Yeah, she was blown out of the water by your church, and I was jealous. But that's fine.
Wow, what a question, Rampy.
Yeah, I mean, trust Rampy. She was going to bring all this PhD
How
things.
do you navigate a true relationship with a father? I think that this money thing, yes, it is there. We see it, we hear about it, but you must know what you want. You must know why you are here. You must know the relationship with your father. When Elisha was following Elijah, the call was not for a double portion of Elijah's honor. What Elijah had. It was followership. For all the time that Elisha followed Elijah, he was only serving. Even Elijah himself did not have in mind, I'm going to give him a double portion of my anointing. But it was through the honor, it was through the time of washing Elijah's hands. And for those years, we never hear anything about what Elisha was doing except that he served him.
About 20 years.
About 20 years, right? Just serving him until the end of his ministry that we hear this call into the double portion. So, you cannot buy fatherhood, or you cannot pay your way through it. It is a place of honor, all right? In honoring your set man, in honoring your father, yes, you honor him by resourcing him, you honor him by remembering him, you honor him in many ways. And so there's that place where you give, if you are given to him, it's an honor for a birthday, for a celebration, knowing what he represents in your life, but not to make a way so that you gain some favors. And so it's a very, very dangerous thing to do. You must identify yourself as, this is what I want. This is where I'm going. I am here to serve, and it's an honor to be under a father's leadership. And just serve because God has given you that privilege and the opportunity to do it. And don't abuse it.
That's brilliant.
And like I said, personal conviction also comes in. I remember years ago, I was praying when I was in London as a young man. And God told me, I heard it clearly, that leave where you are and go and submit to Reverend Frank Ofosu-Appiah many years ago. And I had to do that. And ever since, I have stuck to that word. That is how it's supposed to be. It doesn't matter your exposure. It doesn't matter the things you do. You must be able to stick to that. Even when the relationship is tested, you must let your personal conviction override that. It's very, very important. But what I've realized in this generation is that most young men will say, oh, I want you to be my father. But when the relationship is tested, you find them doing something else.
Can I add to it?
Yeah, go ahead, Pastor.
Can I add to it with, what you said with your relationship with Daddy? And it reminds me of mine and why I'm here. Because when we were starting on Asian Church, New Jersey, I mean, everybody knows my story. Pastoring or call to pastor was not a dream. I did not dream it. I didn't even want it. But when it finally became, I realized that, you don't become like Jonah and end up in the belly of the fish. I called Daddy and I said, it looks like this is it. He said, I've been waiting. And I said to him, there is no way I would do church without submitting, coming under your leadership. Yeah. I had a friend who called Eunice and I to his room, a hotel room, and said all kinds of things. He said, you have no sense. Look at what you've done in the past. You've been this. We know what you've done. You should be a general overseer. You don't have to submit under anyone. And that day was the last time I spoke to him or even seen him, because this is what I wanted. And after submitting and coming under his leadership, I know what my life has become. Anytime I'm in Atlanta, I don't come here for a microphone or for a pulpit. I come here to honor a father. Yeah. And that is what the relationship must be. You must be at a place where you honor. When I come, I tell my church, if I come here and I'm opening Daddy's door, I come and serve as armor bearer, not as a pastor over your church, because I have a father that I must honor. Right. So in doing that and in that understanding, thank God for what God does and how God will elevate and bring you up.
You can go ahead. In relating to what Pastor Sam said about this personal conviction, for me, what has helped me over the years in my relationship with Papa is anytime he corrects me, one thing I always say to myself, that he loves me. Yes. This conviction
is there. He said correct. You don't want me to correct you. Go ahead, Pastor Jesse.
That he loves me and I love him. So the relationship part is very important to have this inner personal conviction why God connected you to him. That's, for me, it has helped me a lot over the years, that no matter what he tells me, even if I don't like it, I know one thing that helps me keep going, he loves me, and
thank you.
That may help somebody.
Pastor Gospel.
All right. I just wanted to attest to what Pastor Asma was talking about, because my wife and I were visiting Pastor Asma and Pastor Eunice in the U.S. before he got out of his normal work and got into full-time ministry. And every time we went there, I was pastoring in London, I would go and encourage him to come into full-time ministry. So we did that. We pushed him for a number of years. Then finally we went and he said, okay, this is where I make the move. And I said, why don't you come over to where I am? Because I was in a denomination and I was trying to get him into my denomination. I did everything. Then finally he told me, he said, I'm going to one person, Dr. Ofosu-Appiah. That's where I'm going. He told me clearly. It's not like something that we're trying to make up. He told me, he said, this is where God told me to be. So what I want to say is everyone has a way they come into contact with people. I knew Dr. Ofosu-Appiah way back in Koforidua and all that, and I was taking inspiration from afar. But when Pastor Asma joined and became a son of Dr. Ofosu-Appiah, I saw how he treated him. I saw how his ministry blossomed. I saw what was happening. We have personal conversations, and I knew what was happening. And I could compare that to where I'm coming from and different people and the story I hear. So I lifted my hand and I said, I wanted you to come to where I was, but now I want to join where you are going. So I decided this is the direction I'm going to go. And that is how I got connected to him. So everyone has a way. Mine is by seeing for many years what this man has been and what his life is, and having somebody who literally is a testimony as to what a father can do to help a son. Not in terms of giving money or anything, but the inspiration, the touch, the way of working with that individual. That inspired me, and that is why I'm here.
Thank you. And once he's on the microphone, I want to do some noise about him. Listen, if you haven't been to LMCD in Sunyani, the shed, you haven't been anywhere. Pastor Asmo and I have been. We've been there twice already. Yeah. Last year, the Lord really helped us, baptized us with a lot of rain, so we didn't have to preach on the Thursday night because all of us were tired and bored. But hey, October, I think it's the second week. The 2nd of October. Maximize. You don't want to miss it. It's something else. Listen, go to Sunyani. Come to that city. Come see. It's beautiful. It is. They are getting me land and they are going to build for me. So you meet me there a lot, you know. But please, whatever you do, let's do. I think Pastor Sam, you are preaching.
Yes,
in
on the 3rd of August.
On the 3rd of August.
Yes.
Your first time? Oh, you will love it. Living Springs people in Accra, make sure that your pastor gets back because they are crazy. They are amazing. Sunyani is amazing. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
talking about how we are talking about shoulders, isn't it? Yeah. Shoulders. Are there sometimes some? We'll take your question, but are there sometimes disappointments that come on standing on shoulders from both sides? Those whose shoulders have been stood upon and those who stand on that. Are there sometimes disappointments, and how have you handled it, and what counsel would you give in situations like that? Pastor Sam, you want to roll it? Yes.
Well, let me first say that, standing on the shoulders of, people who have gone ahead of you is very, very important.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very important because I've realized that in life, anything that is living or non-living is subjected to a gravitational force. This phone is resting on the table. Okay. Now when I pick it up, you can see that the position has changed. It's come up a little higher, and it is my hand that is supporting it. If I leave it right now, it will go back to its former position. So in life, regardless of whatever you are doing, if you are going to go to the next level, you need a particular support system. So it's very, 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 very important to find somebody whose shoulders you can stand on. It's very, very important. Now, when God leads you to find somebody, I want to give you this counsel. If you are going to be successful in that, make sure that you walk with the person according to the Spirit, but not according to the flesh. Because Paul said that know ye no man after the flesh. Because the person is a human being. He has his own mistakes and flaws and all that. But you must be able to let the Spirit override that. And that is what is going to help you. One thing I've realized with this younger generation is that, they are not able to stick to the Spirit. And when I talk about the Spirit, it's the Word, what God has said, which is unchanging. So they are not able to do that. And when the relationship is tested, they get disappointed. So I want to use this platform to encourage a young man who has found a father or somebody's shoulders he's leaning on. Relate with the person by the Spirit. And it's just a matter of time. Reward will surely come.
Wow.
That's good.
Yes. Any other?
Yeah. I think we're talking about disappointment on both sides.
Yes.
Sons and fathers.
Yes.
Some fathers get disappointed because they help their sons to get to a certain level, and they refuse to acknowledge them or remember them. They just move on. And when they realize they become big, they feel we have to tell the world that we did it ourselves and we are here by ourselves. And sometimes they walk away. I know that makes a lot of fathers so disappointed that people they raise never remember them anymore. But to the many sons, they also get disappointed with fathers, especially when you have fathers that are insecure. Many of them have become like left-hand writers. They are writing, but the fingers behind are wiping the things they've written. The whole ink is blurred.
I learned a new one, left-hand writers.
Yeah.
Next time I quote it, it's me. Go ahead, Pastor Gospel.
So they are writing, but the fingers behind is kind of messing up the ink. So they raise somebody, but at the same time, they are competing with the person. They are saying things about the person. They want to undo the person. Once the person offends them, they want to tell you that I made you, and I have the right to make you. And it creates a lot of confusion. So sometimes sons and fathers all get disappointed because no one is living to expectation. But if we're doing it by the Spirit, just as our brother, the apostle is saying,
the high priest
is saying, then we'll be able to see beyond what is human. We know that this is kingdom, this is eternal, this is God, and we will put our heart and soul in it. We're not looking for any earthly reward. We're not looking for anybody to praise us or anything. We just do it because it's something God has given to us to work on.
That's brilliant. That's beautiful. I think somebody had a question. If you can, it says, what do you desire most for your children as a father spiritually? Well, the high priest is answering it quietly. So, high priest, please do that.
You know, Jesus said that the things that you've seen me doing, greater works shall you do. So, the heart of every good father is to see his children do greater things than him. Yes, and that's an honor for the father. I remember, anytime our dear daddy writes to us, he will say, your success is my honor.
And being around here, now celebrating 25 years, and by the way, thank you for these 25 years, your yes, leaving the United Kingdom to the United States of America, starting this. Look at what God has done for these 25 years, all of us around this table. So this is a celebration that, well-deserved. Thank you. Thank you for your obedience. But, every year, ISI, we come down, and it's a joy for us as sons to be around our father, but we see it around, it's all over him. Those of you here in Carrie's house, you know that when we are around, he's a different man. His walking even changes. His smiles changes. Why? Because we are here.
Yes.
And then he gives us the platform. Oftentimes, he will not even preach.
I'll let you talk, but you know that there are people who warn me with their eyes that you're walking somewhere. When they leave, you see what we'll do to you. Go ahead, Pastor.
That is the joy of the Father, right? That the sons do well. And so we see that. As a pastor, I do that also to the church. Anytime I see them do well, it's a joy. And that is what it should be. Wow. That your sons and your daughters do greater and do better than you did.
That's right. Any Pastor Jesse?
What a little I'll add to it is, Papa, you're an exceptional leader.
Oh, Lord.
And over the years, since I've known you, when I was, I think I came to Germany when I was 14. I met Papa when I was 16, 17. And since I've followed you and been learning from you from afar, and also anytime you have the opportunity to come to Düsseldorf, you've been such a blessing. We've learned a lot from you, and everywhere my wife and I, we go, people always say this, you're different. You're different. Our style of leadership, the way we do ministry, people say, look, you've been quiet. People have to hear of you. The kind of spirit, the kind of excellence, the spirit in which we're doing ministry is all because we have a father. Someone that we've been looking up to, and we thank God so much for your life. You're not that kind of a bully leader, but it's beyond words to describe it, but such an exceptional, you're different, and it's just a blessing to have you in our lives.
Thank you for being you.
Yeah.
You guys know I feel very uncomfortable when they talk like that. Okay, so this is, let's say we have about 5 minutes left. 5 minutes, and this is what I'm going to do. 5 minutes left. I'm going to give each and every one of these men of God 16. What advice would you give young people about building something that others can one day stand on? For me, it's a solid foundation, isn't it? Yeah. Something that outlifts you, something that outlets you. So everything you do, for me, do it with the future generation in mind. Don't be like Hezekiah, who said that, well, if it doesn't happen to me in my generation, it's fine. That's a very poor, non-generational leader. So I think it's the foundations that you lay for people. But I'm going to give this man 60, 90 seconds max, 60 seconds, whatever you want to tell the world about shoulders, about your life, minus me. Yes, let's start with Pastor Asma, then we come to High Priest, then Pastor Jesse, then Pastor Gospel, but it's been good. It's been good.
It's been amazing.
Yes.
Thank you for the opportunity. What I will say is this, that, wherever you are in life, wherever God has positioned you, know that you are only a piece of a bigger picture. God allows us to join or become part of what He wants to do in the world, and it is a privilege. Now, one thing that I received on my head the day I got ordained was this. When Daddy says that if two people are doing the same thing, it is likely that one is irrelevant. Dare to become the relevant one. And that has really shaped, it has become my mantra. What I need to let you know is this, that you are in this season for a moment. Whatever God has given you to do it diligently, do it with all your heart. And also know this, that no matter how skillful and talented that you are, you cannot do it by yourself. You need a father. You need a shoulder to stand on. And when they give you their shoulders, honor the shoulder and don't become too familiar.
Thank you.
Okay,
High
thank
Priest.
you. Thank you very much, Papa. Let me say that if God gives you somebody's shoulder to stand on, I want to encourage you, whatever you need to do to build a close relationship with that person, do that. Any price you must pay, make sure you pay that price. Never have in mind that it is the person who must build a relationship with you because you need something that the person has. It's just like God. God says, draw nigh to me and I will draw nigh to you. What I've realized with this young generation is that, for example, a young man tells Pastor Asma, I want you to be my father. And once they say that, they draw back and they're expecting him to reach out to them. It doesn't work that way. You must reach out to them. They may frustrate you, but don't worry, you keep pushing. One day, the relationship would work out and you begin to receive the rewards.
Thank you, High Priest. Pastor Jesse.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Papa, so much. I wanted to talk also about something on relationship, what Pastor Sammy just said right now. Whosoever who's listening, watching us, this thing called spiritual fatherhood is very important. But when it comes to that, relationship for me comes first. To understand that there will be times where you will not understand some things. And that's where the devil comes in and try to mess up with our minds. And when we allow our emotions to get in and take over us, we start to make some mistakes. But in all, let's pursue the relationship with our spiritual father or spiritual leader, that no matter what, you have to fight your way through to keep that relationship. It's very important. It's not about you being interested in the things that he has or where he has been in life, and just when you get them or when they help you, then you exit. But for me, relationship is very important, and you have to focus on that if you want to build a very good relationship and to get to your destination, to what God has for you. Keep that relationship, and it will get you there. Yeah.
Thank you, Pastor Jesse. And Pastor Gospel?
Well, I would like to encourage you today to understand that irrespective of your age and your experience, having a father in your life can take you to another level. This year, I'm 57.
Oh, wow.
So I'm not that young. I've been in ministry for 32 years. I've had the opportunity to travel around, do ministry in remote parts of the world. I got to a place where I felt I was graduating. I've always been a senior pastor, but I was graduating to come and do something on my own, not attached to any denomination. But in getting to that, I realized that I was still lacking something until I had the link to connect with Dr. Ofosu-Appiah. Now I look up to so many things. I am inspired. I feel that satisfaction of honoring a man, having a father over me, knowing that it's not just me, the people. I have other pastors in our branches all over. If something goes wrong I'm not the final authority. They know that they can go beyond me to someone. And it brings them security. It makes them feel that this man is not on his own. This man is connected to someone. And we can always go to someone who is above him. It brings me so much satisfaction in ministry. I didn't think I was going to have that. And I have it now. And I want to encourage you, if you are listening, don't just feel like you are old or you have experience, so you've reached a place where people should rather surrender to you. I'm telling those who call me father to rather come and have a father with me. I don't want to call them my sons. I want to call them brothers, so we can all have a father. Because to me, it's inspiring. It's great to have a father like Dr. Ofosu-Appiah.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead, sir.
I want to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you from the core of our spirits, to say thank you for being a great father to us.
Thank you.
You're a giant, and we can testify that we are what we are today because of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We can stand.
No, sit. Please sit. But thank you. You know, I like it when they say good things like this about me, you know. But thank you. You know, I was going to say something until I saw your what team does he support again? Stephen Aite.
Oh, that team.
That team.
That
That
team.
we don't even want to say it's anathema. It's like no. That team. No. But he says you have raised leaders, worked on legacy, provided lessons, and experienced leeches. How do you deal with leeches with godly grace like you have done? Deal with them like I have done. You know, I am of the conviction in this life that I am not responsible for somebody else's irresponsibility. I'm not responsible for somebody's responsibility. I make sure that I do what is right.
Right.
I'm not responsible for somebody who is an adult doing what is not right. I only make sure that no human being turns me into something I'm not. And with that, I guard my heart. I walk the long walk of obedience. I make sure that nobody contaminates my well, because a lot of people come to drink out of my well. People come, people go. Make everybody happy. My name is Ofosu-Appiah, Ambassador of Hope. I hope you have enjoyed it. We hope to see you here tomorrow night in Carrie's house. We are online, we are in person. It's going to be awesome. From all over the world, sons and daughters are coming home. 25 years anniversary we are celebrating. Then on Thursday morning, Friday from 9 to 11 or 11:30, about 2 hours, we are doing something different. Panel discussions like this. I'm giving a little teaching on Thursday morning. If people ask me, I want to discover my purpose, I want to give you something that will bless you for the rest of your life. I don't know what's going to happen on Friday morning, but Thursday is legacy night. You know, our younger generation, next generation, you are going to like it. Then on Friday, worship is going to, you know, these two guys here, man, it's going to be awesome. Pastor Kerry is going to be in the house. Joseph Benjamin, Kerry's worship. You know, it's going to be just something else. I hear Prince Christy. Somebody is Prince Christy too, part of it? Yeah, they are there. Kedin and everybody, they are all in the house. They are going to just shake the place. I see them coming in, Joseph Benjamin and a certain woman. You know, it's going to be awesome on Friday. You don't want to miss it. Then on Saturday, we are having a picnic. Free food for people who want to eat. Just come and eat. I mean, eat all day. Put on some weight. Let's join together. Then on Sunday, one service, we're going to have a celebration. All that remains for me to say, thank you, gentlemen of the cloth. Thank you, all our team, the media team, everybody. We love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Have a very good evening. Bye-bye for now.